Morning. It is 11:30 on Tuesday morning here in the UK, and I'm back with you sharing some more mini trainings. Got some more golden nuggets for you. Oops, what's going on here? There we go. It says about customizing your dashboard. I don't think I need to know about that right now. Thank you, Facebook. Okay, so yeah, if you're watching on the replay, first of all, I want to say hello and welcome. Thank you for joining today. We are talking about identifying and why that can become a really bad habit when we are working with our clients. If you're watching on the replay, you might want to just skip the introductions and go straight into the meat and potatoes, the golden bit, where I'm sharing all the golden nuggets. And if you're watching us live today, hello! Let me know that you're here. Just pop in the comments there that you're here and let me know. It says I've been live for 7 minutes. I have not. I have not been live for 7 minutes. I've literally just pressed the button. What is going on? There must be gremlins within the technology. Anyway, let's get started. My name is Sarah. You can find me on social media. It's Sarah Brent Coach. That's on Facebook and on Instagram, and in the Coaching Corner, which is our Facebook group. Now, my name is Sarah, like I just said. I teach purpose-driven women the art and science of coaching in the Emotional Health Coach Academy, so that they can create profitable, sustainable business and create a family work-life balance that works on their terms. We also work so that we do around about 15 hours a week. We've got a beautiful system that we follow, and doing those 15 hours a week brings you in an income that makes a huge difference to your household. Most of our clients that work through the system usually get about 3.5K, that's in pounds, English pounds, per month, just doing those 15 hours a week following the system. And so it is absolutely fantastic. Now, our focus in the Emotional Health Coach Academy is on anxiety and anxiety-based symptoms that plague women's health today. Our methodology is created and curated and adapted from many different schools of thought in positive applied psychology. And whilst we focus on female health, our programs are also adaptable for children and for teens, and they work with men too. Okay, so nobody is excluded. Our focus is female health, but our methodology works for everybody. Okay, if you want more tools and tips and techniques on how to improve your emotional health or how to build an online coaching practice, then give me a follow. My speciality is to take you from trainee, and so a complete novice with very little information and knowledge at all, to being a fully qualified working coach with a full-up diary within 6 months. Okay, so if you're interested in that, just drop me a message and we'll have a chat. Now, my superpower, if you like, is having the ability to figure out what makes each one of our coaches so special. Throughout the coach training program, I talk and I observe and I get to know our coaches much better than they know themselves, and we do that to I get to draw out and tease out their excellence. I'm very passionate about helping them find their unique identity so that they can create a life and business that truly inspires them. And then that way they get to turn that dream that's in their head into a reality. So we create a really nurturing space in the academy. It's very personalised, very nurturing space where we get to nourish and our clients get to flourish. All the issues words here. And we do this with integrity. We do generally care about your career. We really care about your clients and your life and your career. So we're very much heart-centered. Like I mentioned, clients that follow the system achieve a reoccurring income of around about 3.5K. That's in pounds, working about 15 hours a week, following my system that I've specially created for purpose-driven, heart-centered women that want to work as coaches and therapists on the online world. Okay, so I always have to say that I talk in pounds, and I keep mentioning that I'm here in the UK. That's because I know that we are a global group. We have our coaches we've got coaches in Dubai, we've got coaches all over the place, and if you would like to join us, we are not exclusive to the UK, so just to let you know that. Okay, so this session today then is going to be for you if you are a bit sensitive. Okay, so perhaps you feel like a bit of a sensitive soul, if you're a bit empathetic, if you're a coach or a therapist with a heart-centered service, Or if you're just someone that works in the caring profession, then this is going to be of interest to you today. So if you're watching live with me, just let me know that you're here. Pop in a little comment in the box below the video. And I must apologise if you can hear background noise. We've got builders in downstairs, so if you've got some background noises coming through, I do apologise for that. Now we've got a maximum of 30 minutes for today's session. I'm not sure exactly how long we're going to take. We'll probably be just under that. But if you've got any questions along the way, please ask them. I'm always happy to answer your questions. If you're interested in anything that I have to say, you can reach out to me, you can follow me, you can direct message me, or just leave a comment and put, "Hi Sarah, tell me more," and I will make sure that I message you and send you any relevant links and information. Okay, so let's have a look then. Let's get started, shall we? Let's get stuck in. So when identifying with your clients becomes a bad thing. Today we're going to go over what we mean, or what I mean when I talk about identifying with your clients. Then we're going to talk about why it can be such an unhelpful thing to do. And then I'm going to talk about how we can manage our over-identifying habit a little bit better, okay, to make it easier. And so first of all, whether you're live or whether you're on the replay, I've got a question for you. And that question is, do you find that you over-identify with people? So if you do, pop a number 1 in the comments. And if you don't, pop a number 2 in the comments. And let's get an idea of what goes on for you, okay? Now, let's talk about what I mean by identifying. So identifying is when you take on board every part of somebody else's situation and you kind of live it for yourself in your mind's eye. So you have a fantastic imagination and you're a very feeling person. Overthinking, you're more feeling than thinking. So you wear your heart on your sleeve and you feel those emotions real time, okay? So you use your mind's eye a lot to visualize what's going on. You also and tend to think about what it's like to be in that other person's situation. You feel it with every emotion, every nerve ending of your body, and you respond to it as well, okay? So it's not just feeling it, we respond to it too. So if you see sad, you feel sad, and you might even get watery eyes, okay? So that sadness follows through into a physical reaction. So let me give you a couple of examples. Over here in the UK and across the globe, our medical workers, our health workers, our NHS have really been up against it this year. They've been doing amazing work. They've really all worked above and beyond the call of duty throughout this pandemic. And there's been some really tough images that have come through the media. Now, we've seen staff crying and being really upset and distressed, their faces worn, all the indents on their faces from wearing their PPE. They've had a really tough time. And when we see that, when we see those news articles and things, you can feel for them. And that kind of transfers through the screen, through the images, and you feel it in every nerve, every ending of your body, every muscle of your body feels that. And you start to think, oh my goodness, what must it be like to work, to wear their shoes for that day? What must it be like right now, trying to cope with this situation, not knowing what's going to happen on your next shift, not knowing if you're going to catch the virus and take it home to your family, all of those worries and stresses and things that we're facing. They are facing. So if we start to think about that and over-identify with it, as a heart-centered person, as an empathetic soul, when you think and feel in this way, your body will respond to it, okay? You'll be like you're in their shoes, even though you're not. You're at home, safe and well, flicking through the newspaper or watching the image come through the TV screen, okay? And that's because our mind doesn't know if something is happening real time or if it's just something we are perceiving to be happening, okay? We respond all the same. So let me know if you can relate. Hi, Samantha. Hello, thank you for joining. We've got a 1 there. Okay, this is really going to resonate with you. Thank you. So I'm going to give you another situation. And if you're a mum, you'll relate to this one. So your child comes home from school upset over a situation. They tell you what's been going on. and you respond to it. They are full of emotion. You take on board that emotion. And rather than responding with calmness and perspective and being logical and a sounding board for them, your emotions take over and you overemphasize. Now, you might not do it directly with them and in front of them, but you might go and do it when you go and tell your friend or your mum or your sister or somebody else over the phone, okay? Because that emotion is just overbearing, and it has to come out somewhere. Or perhaps you're currently working in the caring profession, and so let me know if this is you. If you're currently working as a coach, a therapist, maybe you're a nurse, a teacher, a nursery worker, you've got some role that has a very big caring capacity to it, and you've been exposed. Okay, so when I know for a fact when I first started out, before I protected myself as a therapist, I would be exposed to client stories that might trigger you, okay? And they would trigger something about you or your life, make you feel uncomfortable, and you would leave the session feeling physically and emotionally drained, okay? Therapist burnout is a real thing. And it's a real thing for empaths or sensitive souls, okay? If we're not careful, we can take on board everybody else's feelings and emotions and wear them like they are our own, all right? So let me know if that sounds familiar to you. So what we want to do then is, I've got another example for you actually. So if you don't work in the caring profession and you haven't experienced that, maybe you've experienced it when you're scrolling on your phone, okay? And you're scrolling on your phone and you've just seen that somebody has suffered a loss or a loved one, or they're facing serious illness, and you're scrolling through and you stop to have a look because that's human nature, and you read what's going on and you really over-identify it with it. You don't even need to know that person. Okay, still to have those feelings. This is what I mean by over-identifying. Okay, this is what I mean by identifying with others. Now, here's the problem. If you are that person, if you are not the person that is in that situation, true, real time, and you are just reliving it like you are imagining they are living it, then you are causing yourself an awful lot of upset and distress unnecessarily. Here is why over-identifying or identifying is such an unhelpful thing to do. Every thought that you create in your mind, whether it be real or whether it be perceived, has a reaction real time on your body, physically and emotionally, and it impacts on your immune system too. So when you over-identify a lot with somebody else's sadness, you will feel sad, and that sadness will build up and have a negative impact on your emotional state, your physical state, and your well-being, okay, your immune system there as well. So this is really important stuff. Over-identifying doesn't change anything for that other person. Your sympathy won't change anything for that person. They are in that situation, and there is very little that we can do. We can influence it, we can do certain amount of things, but ultimately moving through that situation is down to that other person. So when we take it on and we over-identify with their sadness, we feel sad, and it doesn't change anything. All it does is impact us. Now, like I said, your mind doesn't know the difference between something real or imagined. It just works as though your thoughts have instructed it in that moment. Okay, so let me know if that relates to you. If you've been in one of those situations, if you want to share a situation, then feel free to do so. So when you take your over-identifying into the workplace, then when you take it to work with you, this way of being, which is a really lovely way of being, but it can be misused sometimes, and you experience day in, day out, over-identifying with other people's sadness and experiences, we can end up being burnt out, and it can really affect your professional career. Okay, it can really affect your career. So let's talk about how we can how we can manage our over-identifying habits a little bit better. Well, it's quite easy, it's quite simple. We need to be aware of what we're thinking and make sure that we are choosing empathy over sympathy every time. Okay, very fine line there, but empathy over sympathy every time. It's important that we step back and we keep perspective on a situation. So we check in and keep perspective with that situation on a regular basis. And it's important for us to realise that we cannot control how someone else is feeling. We desperately want to make everything better for other people. It's a natural thing when you're in the caring profession. It's a natural thing that you just want to make it better for others. And we need to recognise that we just can't do that. We don't have that amount of power and control over somebody else. We can only influence to a certain degree if they're happy to take on that influence and meet us in the middle. So when you're in a state of over-identifying, you aren't in a position to help anybody. Okay, so you've heard the story, I am sure, when you're on the aeroplane. That says, it's not a story, it's a recording. When you're on the aeroplane, they say put your own oxygen mask on first before you help women and children and people around you. Okay, always put your own one on before you turn to the person on your side and help them. Now, as a parent, it's natural to want to help your child before you help yourself, and that's what we are like when we are empathetic souls, when we're sensitive people. When we wear our heart on our sleeve, not just in emergency situations do we want to do that, but we want to do it every damn day, don't we? Okay, so let me know if that sounds familiar with you. It's really important that if you're working in this kind of profession and industry, that you put your oxygen mask on first before helping anybody else around you. Okay, so over-identifying then is something that affects caring professionals, health and wellness professionals, nurses, midwives, teachers, nursery workers, care workers. It affects, coaches and therapists alike. Okay, so what we do then in the Emotional Health Coach Academy is we train our minds to move away from sympathy and over to empathy in order to coach to the best of our ability. We have a really fantastic in-depth coaching with confidence framework that our coaches take out with them into the workplace. It really helps protect their energy, it really helps protect their mental space, really helps to protect their emotions too. And that way they are best placed to help their clients, and they are best placed to create a career that's got longevity, okay, that's going to go the distance. And that is what's important when we're choosing a career like this. Now, you can't coach to a high standard if you're always over identifying, because you're just going to feel depleted the whole time and you're not going to be performing to your best for your clients. So let me know if this has made sense to you. Suzanne Taylor. Hi Suzanne, how are you? I think I might see you later. I'm looking forward to that. I hope I'm going to see you later anyway. Okay, so let's recap then. Over-identifying is when we live in the experience for someone else, when we wear somebody else's shoes and we wear them consistently and we take on the emotion and the physical response. It isn't helpful to that other person, and it isn't helpful to you either. It's something that's easily done when we're heart-centered, when we are caring professionals, and it prevents you from being your best self. That very thing that you want to do is to help that person. When you over-identify with them, you end up not helping them, okay? So something that's really important for us to be aware of. It prevents you being your best self, you get caught up in the thoughts and emotions, and you respond as you imagine they would. Now, if you are currently over-identifying with friends and family members, with news feeds, with everything else, I truly want you to remember that you just need to stand back and keep perspective, okay? And remember that it's empathy over sympathy every time. Now, remember, always act from a place of empathy over sympathy. You're going to help people more that way. If you're over-identifying with friends and family members, you just know that it's because you've got a heart of gold and you just truly want to help them. But in doing that, you're not actually helping yourself and you're not actually helping them either. So remember, step away. It's okay. It's safe for you to do that. All right, so let me know then if this has been helpful to you. And if you've got friends in the caring profession, they might be teachers, nurses, midwives, care workers, they might already be coaches and therapists and practitioners. And if you know that they're struggling right now with over-empathizing, over-sympathizing, over-identifying with their current role, position, life, then this video might be of help to them. So please tag them and share it with them. If you've just joined, my name's Sarah. I'm just going to reintroduce myself very quickly to you. I teach purpose-driven women the art and science of coaching in the Emotional Health Coach Academy so that they can create profitable, sustainable businesses and create a family work-life balance that works on their terms. We work around 15 hours a week and we bring home a decent income of 3 to 3.5k in pounds per month following the system that I have created. If you want to find out more, just leave me a message below this video. Feel free to reach out and send me a DM, or if you just want to have a little stalk for a minute, you can have a look. Sarah Brent Coach on Facebook, Sarah Brent Coach on Instagram, and by all means come over and find us in the Coaching Corner, which is our Facebook group where we talk about emotional health and business, running your own business in there quite a lot. Okay, so that's pretty much it from me then. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, thank you, Suzanne, for that wonderful advice. I'm looking forward to seeing you later. Hope I'm going to see you later. And thank you very much for joining me today. If you've just joined, go back and watch the replay. If you're feeling a bit sensitive, a bit emotional right now, and you don't know why, then this could be helpful to you. I'm here every week on a Tuesday at 11:30, sharing more golden nuggets to help you with your emotional health and creating that business of your dreams. So if this has been helpful, do let me know. If you know anyone that would be helpful for, please share it with them. And if you want to find out more about emotional health, if you want to protect your own emotional health, I do have a self-coaching program that's coming out. It's called Flourish, and it's going to be an online coaching program. It's a version of what we teach in the Emotional Health Coach Academy, so it's part of our methodology. It's a online self-study, self-coaching program. If you want to find out more about that, then just let me know, yes please, in the comment, and I will make sure that you get a link to that when it's ready towards the end of this week. Okay, that's it from me. I'm going to head off. Hope you're all having a lovely day, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time. Bye bye.